Bear with me. This is the first time I've ever been on camera, but I just want to make a note because I see an epidemic of people who just feel stuck, people who feel hopeless, people who feel like they can't make a move. And I just want to give some encouragement to whoever sees this. This is going to be my first video ever, so nobody's going to see this, but maybe someday I'll throw it on YouTube and it'll be somewhere, and maybe someday somebody will see it. But quit thinking about your problems and quit reading books about your problems. Quit reading Atomic Habits. Quit reading Notes from the Underground, right? Quit intellectualizing your problems. Learn to act. I'm betting you that most of your issues are because you don't act. And acting is uncomfortable. Acting is change. Change is uncomfortable, right? Make change your best friend. Make blind action your best friend for a while. I'm betting that you just don't know how to make an action. Because the thing that maybe you don't realize, I don't want to project me onto you, but where I've been in my life is, dude, person watching this, you can change it at any time, bro, or sis, whoever you fucking are. You can change it at any time. Switch jobs. If you don't like the new job, you get a new job. You know what I mean? You're not getting along with your girlfriend, you get a new girlfriend. If you don't get along with her, get a new girlfriend. If it keeps not working out, maybe look at yourself. But you have to act. You have to act. Action is the only thing that's going to get you out of that rut. Thinking is not going to get you out of the box. You put yourself in a thought box and you're stuck there. You're not getting out of it. So quit thinking for a little bit. Thinking is for later on, right? Those books like Atomic Habits, all these books that podcasters talk about, right? That's such a, you're talking about a third step solution. If you're on step 0, if you are truly locked up, landlocked in the position you're in, you got to practice action, right? And I say this from experience. I'm putting myself on the grill here. You have to practice acting. Thinking is not going to get you out of that. So act and have faith that you can change it later if you don't like the outcome. And you might say like, well, I haven't done that in the past. Well, man, you've underestimated yourself and then you met that underestimation. You can change that. You could be a different guy tomorrow. If you're having troubles with who you are, you can change that. And you're going to feel imposter syndrome. You're going to feel phony. You're going to feel fake. But if you want change, that's all the authenticity you need to change. You don't have to be that person overnight. You don't have to change your life overnight, but you change it by acting, not by thinking. So put the books down. Trust yourself. Admit your flaws. It's fine. You haven't done it in the past. You've stayed in the job for 5 years and you're just now switching it up. That's fine, man. That's fine, sis, mom, dad, whoever you are in your life, no matter how old you are. Maybe you're 18 watching this, maybe you're 50 watching this. You don't owe life being the same person. You don't owe yourself being the same person. If you got an issue, change it, man. It's easy. It's simple. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. If it was easy, we'd be doing it. If it was easy, I've been doing it 10 years ago, right? But get yourself off the leash. Get yourself away from expectation, and most important of all, get yourself away from intellectualizing your problems, because you're not thinking your way out of this one. You thought your way into it. You're not thinking your way out of it, because you are, speaking of books, greatest salesman in the world. That's you. You're selling it to yourself. You're selling to yourself the idea that you're unable. You're selling to yourself the idea that you can't change. You're selling to yourself the idea that life will be the same no matter what action you do. And you're theorizing, if I did this, it's still going to be the same. If I do that, it's going to be the same. Just do it and do it and do it again. Make action your first response to something. If you don't like something, change it. And if you don't like that, change it again. You can do that. You have the right to do that. You don't owe the world you being the same person. You know what I mean? So I hope that comes across in some way for you. This is something that, you know, in my life, I've had troubles, and I get caught in the, whether it's the manosphere or the emotionosphere, whatever you want to call it, in these books and these different ideas. And it's like, man, you don't need some formula. You need to change stuff. You need to act. And you got to have faith that if you don't like where you're at in the next step, you can change it again, and you can change it again. You can change it again. You've had a career for 10 years and it's making you miserable. Change it, man. Get radical. Get radical with your life. Get radical with your dreams. Change stuff. Don't be afraid. And if you are afraid, then be brave. Because being brave is acting in the face of fear, right? So be brave and change things for yourself. And you're going to gain faith in yourself. You're going to gain comfort in your ability, in your knowledge that you know you can and you will act. So start small. Whatever it is, start small. Change stuff up. If you got a toxic friend, just let them go. You don't owe them a goodbye. You don't owe them an explanation, man. Just change it. Get a new friend. Stop talking to that. If you feel sick after going to your job, if you feel sick after talking to your friend, change it. Just stop. Just do something different. You don't owe them anything. You don't owe an explanation. If you got a job that's been underpaying you for 5 years and you get an offer to try something new, fuck 2 weeks. Go do the other job. Jump in with both feet and know that you're going to be able to change it. Grab yourself by your fucking heart and know that you can change it. You know? I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to whoever's watching this. You can change it. And you change things through action. You can post game. You can debrief, you can think about it after the fact. But I'm betting if you're like me, you need to act. You need to practice action, not thinking, not theorizing, not planning 10 years from now, right? What if this? What if that? What if I get that career and then it doesn't satisfy me the way I thought? Well, guess what, bro? It's your life and you can change it. It's fine. You're gonna be okay. But the only way you're gonna be okay is if you are going to make it okay. And maybe you feel hopeless because you haven't in the past. You can change that too. You can change that too. So action. Act your way to a different place in life. Act your way to a different place in your heart and your mind. And forget these debts that you think you owe people. These loyalties to things that are damaging you. You have to let those go. I have to let those go. Those toxic people, those toxic places, the toxic ways of thinking that we carry in our own minds, we have to let those go. So this is something I'm really trying to practice in my life. I'm flying off the seat of my pants right now. I'm doing stuff I never thought I would do. I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death. And I want you to be scared with me, because be scared and then act through it. Be brave. Get faith in yourself. Make changes. Your life is your life. That's the key word. It's your life. We're all living our own lives. You don't got to listen to these podcasts and think about David Goggins or Jocko or all these guys. You don't have to be that person, man. You can be who you are. You can be who you want to be. If you have a problem with something, simply change it. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. I guess that's the one thing that these books nail that's actually right, is you need to become comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable and change it. So I want to encourage you to realize that you have the power. We all have this inherent power. We have a superpower to change our lives. That's our superpower. If you don't like where you're at, change it, man. I can't say it enough. You're not indebted to these things that you feel mentally entrenched in. You're not indebted. You're making yourself into a prisoner. You're making yourself into a slave, you know? And again, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, because I've got myself caught with my own mind. You know, the mind is a tool. It's a giant control panel, and it'll tie you into knots. It'll tie you into knots, and the only way to undo that is to act and to realize. You have to teach yourself subconsciously that you can change stuff. So the worst thing you can do is not act. The best thing you can do is act. You don't need, perfection is the enemy of the good, right? You don't need to make the perfect decision right off the bat. You don't need to, if you're looking at a staircase, you don't leap to the top stair. You don't take a running leap to the top stair. You're going to fall and break your legs, dude. There one time I was working at a job that it was in this like 4-story building, and one time I tried to, you'll go upstairs and you'll skip a step. I tried to do that going downstairs, and I ate shit like crazy. You can't do that. You got to take one step at a time. You have to just put one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, And you're going to surprise yourself because you're going to get to the top of that staircase, you know? And yeah, I feel weird as hell. Like I said, I've never been on camera before. I'm stuttering. I'm foolish. But this is just something like, we've complicated the subject of improving our lives so much to where we've intellectualized it and we've moved it away from ourselves. We've moved it away from our ability to change things. So I just said the same thing like 20 times over again. Whatever, man. I'm going to put this on YouTube, and if one person sees it and it helps, it's worth it for me. You know, I'm out here. I'm a boat on the ocean. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm switching jobs. I was just at a job for 5 years, and I personally got to where I felt sick going into my job, and I had that sunk cost fallacy where I thought I'd invested this much and I need to stay. You got to cut yourself loose. I had to cut myself loose and be free, and I'm in the middle of all kinds of open doors, and it's so scary, man. It's so scary. But you teach yourself that lesson. I'm teaching myself that lesson that I can make a change. And and I can't make it comfortable. It's uncomfortable. I feel wildly uncomfortable. But I have that ability. You got to remind yourself, as a creature, as a being, you're a being, and you can change your state of being, you know? If there's something you don't like about your personality, change that too. If your first reaction when something outside of you, when you observe something outside of you, if your first reaction is to judge that thing, and I don't necessarily even mean negatively, but you apply a value to that thing, you might be sitting in a seat of critique. You might be a critic. You might be criticizing things. And that's probably a really good sign that you are not happy with what's going on in your life. So turn it in on yourself. Turn it in on the actions that you're taking. You're probably not taking actions, man. I know that for years I wasn't taking actions. I was disliking things in my life. I was thinking about them. I've read all the books, man. I've read all those books. A book is not going to save you, you know? So act and comment. I mean, blow this up. Like it, comment it, argue with me. Critique me, criticize me in the comments, talk your shit, do what you got to do, but act. All I want you to do, if somehow one person watches this and I'm at 12 and a half minutes, if you got to this mark, do me a favor and act in your life in one way. I don't care what it is. Even if maybe you're an unhealthy person, you've been pounding cinnamon rolls. I've been there, dude. I'm about 45 pounds over where I should be. Do an action and don't eat that cinnamon roll. If you find yourself criticizing things that are different from you outside, do one action and don't criticize something. Instead, be like, maybe there's something about that I just don't get, but maybe there's a value I don't see. It's not our role to evaluate things outside of ourselves. You know, it's our role to honestly represent ourselves in our lives. Are we doing that? Am I honestly representing myself in my life through my actions, through my emotions, through my decisions? You know, those are our superpower. We have an innate superpower. So put your cape on and change stuff with me, because I'm not a podcaster with $1 million. I think my bank account's in the negative, dude. Fuck it. Change. You know what I learned is, if your bank account's in the negative, if you bounce a payment or something, a hitman doesn't pop out from behind a bush and shoot you with the silenced, I don't even know if I can say it. I think YouTube censors things now, so I can't even say it. But your life's not gonna fall apart. You know what I mean? You're gonna be okay. Like, it can always get worse, so don't challenge life's ability to always get worse. Instead, hop in the driver's seat, make a change. If you're driving somewhere and you take a wrong turn, you're still in the driver's seat. You're not in a taxi going the wrong way. You can turn around. You can shift gears. Put your blinker on and take the right road, right? So don't intellectualize your problems anymore. I'm sure you've already spent plenty of time doing that. All these guys, and I don't have beef with these podcasters. I think they're coming from a very good place. Even with something like, every podcaster's talking about BetterHelp and therapy, and someone's like, bro, do you need therapy, or do you need to change what you're doing every day? Do you need to change your actions? So let's be conscious about where we've put ourselves. There are some terminologies from these books that I think are really useful, like Jocko, this dude. First off, We're not all Jocko, we're not all Navy SEALs, and we don't need to be. There's what, 7 billion of us or something? I don't know how to Google while I'm taking a video. With 7 billion people, you think we're all the same? You think we need to be all the same? We have the right to be different, and we all need different things. We operate differently. But if you've thought yourself into a prison, act your way out of it. That's really what I'm trying to say. Act your way out of it with me. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. So let's act our way out of this thing, and let's quit with this externalization. Let's quit with this intellectualization. Let's quit with thinking a book is going to change our lives or our patterns or something. They're tools. They can help. They're not bad. But you are you. No matter where you go, you've heard that phrase, no matter where you go, there you are. It means you're with yourself. Wherever you end up, you're with yourself. So develop a relationship with yourself where you're deserving of that faith. Take a risk with yourself. Hold your own hand. Take a risk with yourself, right? So if you somehow made it this far, I appreciate it. I feel awkward as hell being on camera. I've said the same thing over and over, and I've said that I said the same thing over and over. But I'm just trying to do something different, even by taking a video. And I, in my personal experience, nobody takes this perspective on it, you know? So think about where you're at, yes, but act and think less. Just think less and act, all right? I'll see you guys around.